So, yeah, I guess 15, or it's not 15, 50,000 XP for day 4. That's good. So day 1 was this here. Oh, day 1's 50,000 XP. Day 2 is 50. Day 3 is, so every day it's 50. Whoa, we're getting to 200 in no time. Whoa, amazing. So everybody do this. I just tweeted it. Check Dreamlight. The Discord, I'll check that later. It's not really a Twitch thing for me. I'm trying to keep that part separate for me. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out is I reacted to a top 5 gaming. I posted actually tonight. And I believe it was this one here, the Fortnite revealed the future, because that was the last one I watched from them. And this particular one here was actually called before when I initially reacted to it. I was very, very confused today because I was like, what is actually going on? I'm like, I've watched this video apparently, but like haven't actually watched it. But I believe it is what used to be called the Fortnite Fractured event, Everything We Know. So I've seen this one here. It's just different. So I don't know if like they realized like Fortnite did the future was like a bigger thing or what it was, but essentially like that's kind of where it's at now. So there is a new one that was posted here. It's just like just under 11 minutes long. And what interests me here, guys, is you can actually see the AR and the pump back, like the scar and the AR, or this, whatever, the pump and the scar are there. So I'm kind of losing it because I am like, that is the best. Whoa, I saw that briefly, that thumbnail, and you know what it looked like? It kind of looked like a chibi. No way! That is so weird. No. Chibi Harold. I mean, this guy does have a duck. You know? 101 Secrets in Fortnite. That actually might be hilarious to watch. I definitely want to watch that at some point with the rubber ducky. That just looks way too good to me. Kylie, you made it. Nice to see you. Let's go. So Fortnite revealed the future. Again, this is the one that I've actually watched. So the next, like the latest one that's been posted is the Rise and Fall of Fortnite Chapter 3. So we'll be able to get a decent idea here of any new information. So we might get some that's a little bit repetitive, but I think for the most part, I think this should be relatively informative for us. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this one a watch. Again, Top 5 Gaming, the Rise and Fall of Fortnite Chapter 3.
Fortnite Chapter 3's island is on the brink of collapse, and after only 4 short seasons, it looks like our time here has come to an end. In less than a year, we went from swinging around as Spider-Man to Kamehamehaing as Goku, and the journey since has ushered in a new era of Fortnite.
Both were very cool.
It shocked everyone by taking us back to the original map, but when we got here, things were completely different. Places like Paradise Palms were better than we had ever seen, mixed with brand new locations like Sanctuary and Sleepy Sound. But one POI stood out amongst the rest, the volcano. This time it wasn't a pressure plant or building a giant mech.
No.
Instead, it was made into the Daily Bugle. This was the first collab of Chapter 3 introducing Spider-Man. Epic had finally brought
cool.
one of the most requested characters to the game. It set the bar incredibly high. They even added web shooters, which quickly became the greatest mythic of all time. And that was just one of the game-changing features. We also got sliding, trees with physics, and even tents.
Trees with
save
physics.
items between matches. At the time, this was an insane idea that got everyone excited, and so did Victory Crowns, which became the ultimate flex for wins each season. That's if you
Yeah,
managed to
that was
survive
the
island's new
best.
weather, adding tornadoes and even lightning to the game. If you got struck, it would give you a speed boost, but if you don't remember this, it's because lightning was only in Fortnite for half a season and never returned. Speaking of weather, the island
I don't even remember. I guess I wasn't in my time.
event, which everyone agreed was 10 times better than the previous year.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
perfect, since you had to save your V-Bucks for some of the amazing collabs.
Well, hang on a second. The reason why it was so good from the previous year was like really only because there was no cabin, right? So it was like, I remember I had the cabin and that whole experience was amazing, and then they took it away from me, and it was horrible. Nobody liked that year. Nobody even remembers what the hell happened. And then essentially it was last year, and we had the cabin back with the fireplace and everything, and it was magical. It was amazing, and everybody loved it. So it's not hard to love last year's Christmas solely because we had Crackshot's cabin back and we got a whole bunch of free presents every day, and that whole experience is just, you know, enough to make you want to keep playing, right? And keep, you know, logging in, and you know, they did such a good job. Why not keep that going?
Got throughout season 1. While the Rocket Spider-Man headlined the Battle Pass, this was just the start of the insane crossovers, adding Boba Fett, Nathan Drake, and
hey,
even
Becky,
Bruno Mars.
how's it going, girl?
Not to mention, Epic completely revamped the loot pool, removing all the fan-favorite weapons like the Scar. It was so sad.
So that was why it was in that preview, that little like preview thing. I was like, oh, the Scar and Pump, the Scar and Pump, the Scar and Pump. They're not necessarily coming back. They were just, he's talking about old shenanigans. No, I actually got so excited for a minute.
Sad to lose it, but most people were distracted by the Scar's replacement, the MK7. From day one, everybody was using it, obsessed with the first-person scope.
Well, because
Something
we
I wasn't
had
expecting to
no
see was the return of quad crashers.
We had no
but
scopes at that
unfortunately,
point.
they were pushed aside for Fortnite's most loved update, Colombo. If you're traveling by car, it was impossible to miss the infamous tire glitch, which sent the Foundation statue to space. It was a simple time full of infamous tire glitch with Colombo. If you're traveling by car, it was impossible to miss the infamous tire glitch, which sent the Foundation statue to space.
I never saw this. I never saw this. Did anybody know about this? You could send the entire statue to space? Get out. Why could I not? I'm so mad I missed that. I would have been doing that all freaking every single game. I would have gone there and sent that thing flying to space and just made it a thing. That would have been the best.
It was a simple time full of nostalgia, but the piece didn't last long, as the Imagined Order was secretly drilling through the island to return. Even though the map was already full of content, they created a whole new POI called Covert Cavern, which would eventually become the most important location in Season 2's Resistance. The rest of the Imagined Order's forces had arrived and started an all-out war for control of the island. Bringing a fortress, giant airships, and making history.
I thought people were gonna like those more.
For the first time ever, you couldn't play.
Oh, that was the
edit,
best.
And I'm not talking about a location or LTM. The entire game was banned from building. This caused hundreds of creators to come back, and from this moment, it was obvious Zero Build was here to stay, beginning a new era for Battle Royale. It was transformed into a permanent mode, and to make it even more interesting, Overshield was introduced, giving players 50 HP that could recharge. If taking cover wasn't an option, you can now use Tactical Sprint to put away your weapon and run twice as fast. Not to mention,
that was another amazing thing.
Zero Build quickly became the most popular mode of Fortnite, but that had no effect on the war, which was only just beginning. The IO had gained control of most of the island, covering POIs with blimps, upgrading Command Cavern, and setting up the fortress. We were able to see the territories on a
repeat of knowledge we know and clickbait. There's a lot of new info in here. Yeah, there is some recap, but I mean,
new characters
not everybody watches every bit of content, right?
Bringing allies from the Marvel universe, as well as the final members of the Seven. After
I wouldn't really call it clickbait, though. I would not.
And the Imagined. But the IO also had some impressive recruits of their own. Huntmaster Saber was a boss dedicated to protecting the IO, and Prowler shocked everyone when he was revealed as a secret skin. To fight him off, we had plenty of new weapons like the Striker Burst Rifle, which dominated the loot pool, and the return of the Combat SMG and Drum Shotgun. But things got really interesting when tanks were added. Yeah, fully fledged armored tanks, and of course, they were
Could you imagine if the tanks were with the chrome?
And defend yourself with
healed the tank? That would have been great.
There was a way to fight them. Epic added the Anvil launcher that could lock onto vehicles, but it had a pretty mixed response. Unlike armored walls, which somehow became loved by casuals and competitive players. You could use it to trap somebody or defend yourself, but one thing they couldn't stop was an armored battle bus. After years of waiting, we actually got to drive the most iconic vehicle in the game, upgraded with turrets and a cow catcher that could plow through anything. But
that was pretty great.
Season 2 arrived at an unfortunate time. It was themed around a war, and this meant Epic had to make last-minute changes to the story. They also broke world records by donating all of the earnings from the start of the season to charities in Ukraine, raising over $144 million.
What the heck?
A secret Ukraine flag on the island using containers. But at the end of the day, this is still Fortnite, and there are plenty of collabs to enjoy. People were shocked when Chica.
Could you imagine if they actually did things like this for like
Assassin's Creed,
cancer or diabetes, like give to those associations?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was secretly foreshadowing a huge twist. But
jeez, this is
the season 2 live event.
This is
for
brutal.
Some reason, Pelia started driving lessons, but was terrible. He just kept on.
Wait, what
crashing,
just
and at
happened?
One point, it recreated the Truckosaurus Easter egg from Chapter
Pinned
1.
a message. I've never seen this before.
Lake, where construction was already underway on the Collider, a huge tower that was about to destroy the entire island.
That's super cool. Isha, I didn't even know you could do that.
Was completely unexpected. Suddenly, the lobby changed to show the mecha team leader from Chapter 1, but even more surprising was its location. For the first time ever, we had gone to space and were rebuilding the robot on the ice moon. So as the countdown to the live event reached 0, we prepared for collision and suited up.
That was cool.
The island,
that was very
cool.
cool.
The atmosphere and entering the battle. We had to fight hundreds of tanks, blimps, and mechs with jetpacks. Didn't take long for the robot to reach critical damage, but there was one person who would save the day. Peely. It turns out his driving lessons finally had an explanation, as he delivered a slurp truck reviving us so we could destroy the Collider and finally defeat the imagined order. With the island at peace, it was time to celebrate. Season 3 was here and parties broke out, vandalizing old
that was
POIs
awesome,
and turning them into Rave Cave and Drill Hill. But this is also where Fortnite boasted the largest mid-chapter update in history, changing half the map and adding an entirely new biome. At the center of it all was the reality tree, which blossomed and caused nature to take over. There were mushrooms, waterfalls, and references to Chapter 1. It was a magical biome, but soon would turn sinister. Roots started to spread across the entire island, completely taking over POIs and causing them to change every match. The craziest
she did discover something new on
accident.
accident.
Your own reality tree that would give you free loot. The longer you waited, the higher the rarity. And apparently nobody likes a party more than Darth Vader. Not only did he shock everyone as the tier 100 skin, but he became one of the most powerful bosses ever, using the Force and even flying at you. But it was worth it to get his new mythic lightsaber, which included a throwing ability. Although when people talked about Darth Vader, we weren't expecting the headlines to be about his pickaxe. The world humiliated Fortnite, laughing at his Imperial Spoon. There's a more faithful collab in Season 3 with Indiana Jones and Temple had a secret puzzle that recreated the famous boulder scene from the movies. At this point,
yeah, that was great.
Since Spidey's web shooters
it was really hard though to figure that out.
Swinging through the air. Epic heard our pleas and released the Grapple Glove, which worked exactly like the old Mythic, but some people were disappointed with the amount of charges. It got even weirder when we woke up one day and suddenly Logjam Lumberyard had a new weapon on the walls. Out of nowhere, we can now use the Ripsaw launcher, letting you fire spinning blades at your enemies and just tear through builds. There was also the Prime Shotgun DMR, which people weren't a fan of, yet nothing split the community apart like the Charge SMG. It charged up your whole round before firing and was probably the fastest weapon we have ever seen. It was insanely overpowered in the right hands and became a little frustrating to fight against. The same can be said about fighting
the
John
drum.
Cena. Yeah, this time around, the collabs were crazy, not just because of Among Us and Destiny, those were insane, but they had nothing on the biggest crossover in Fortnite history, Dragon Ball. 2 updates before the end of the season.
That was a pretty big deal.
Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the gang. We got to fly around on the Nimbus Cloud, collect Dragon Balls.
I hope we get more of this.
Which revived the game for so many players and will go down as one of the best updates of all time. The same can't be said about the biggest letdown of Chapter 3, the Summer Update. No Sweat Summer was anticipated to be huge, bringing new items, free rewards, and skateboarding. But instead we got an empty skate park, a floating concert with nobody performing, and an ice cream consumable. And so as we approached the remaining few weeks, it was quickly turned from a party to a massacre. Members of the Seven were disappearing, and we heard rumors that a new villain was about to appear in Season 4 Paradise. The Scientist, Origin, and Visitor were all consumed by the new villain, leaving only Paradise paradigm to escape to Reality 659. It is here we were introduced to the Herald, beginning
The
a plan of
Herald.
taking over the island with Chrome. It wasn't all bad. This actually gave us a ton of new gameplay features. You can literally
Chrome
walk
was
through walls
great.
and even
That
turn
was
yourself
fun.
Chrome. It just got weird when people transformed into blobs, phasing through builds and regenerating health, and this also applied to weapons. The new Evo Chrome guns upgraded as you dealt damage, even if it took
That
forever,
was
but
useful.
the map was suffering. From day one, Sanctuary, Lazy Lagoon, and Shuffled Shrines were already consumed by Chrome. Meanwhile, giant balloons rescued POIs like Condo Canyon, No Sweat Insurance, and the Pirate Ship. The entire reality biome died out, becoming orange and ruining half the island.
That's
Popular
crazy.
addition was the introduction of keys that could open vaults and hollow chests. To make things more exciting, Epic finally made snipers
You know what?
one-shot players again, which
You know-
finally shut
wait.
us all up. This season's main cross
You know what the one thing though with this is that did like the whole vault thing kind of reminded me a little bit of was it chapter 2 season 2 with like Midas and everything, and you know, doing that whole thing. Now again, we didn't have any like, you know, Brutus or anything to kind of fight, right? Or Meow Souls or whatever, but you know, it did kind of bring back a little bit of that you know, nostalgia of the whole vault bit. So it was nice to kind of see that feature kind of back, but at the same time it wasn't as exciting as, you know, going in there and getting some like mythic or like, you know, weapon or anything like that. So I think it was missing a little bit of that like interactive feature personally, but still good.
crossover was revealed as Spider-Gwen, and while the skin was perfect, people were disappointed we didn't get her web shooters. To compromise, Epic added back the grapple glove, but unfortunately it only lasted a week. Luckily, other items stayed longer, like the brand new explosive goo gun, which did exactly what the name suggests. As expected with these unique weapons, people either loved it or hated it. One thing no one had an issue with was the new dial-a drop. After years of asking for some kind of care package item, we could finally summon a supply drop to our location. Around the middle of the season, Epic added
hope they
Grim
keep
Gables,
that.
which many believe to be our first tease for a Stranger Things 2.0 collab. But when Fortnite Mares arrived in the next update, the house is taken over by an octopus made of ink. It was really random. Not as weird as Summer and Mr. Meeseeks, who were added for Halloween. But thankfully, we got at least one classic horror character with Ash Williams from Evil Dead. Sadly though, it wasn't enough to save Fortnite Mares, and the whole event turned out to be a disaster. Luckily, the Skywalker Week event turned out a lot better. We got Luke, Leia, and Han Solo as skins
that
and
was
lightsabers
awesome.
on the island. The event was completed with the return of Vader, who comes back to the island so much it's basically his favorite holiday destination. You can now fight him while dressed as Black Adam, Cypher PK,
His favorite
or
holiday
Goat. We even got
destination.
the Octane from Rocket League, which is only the second collab vehicle ever.
Oh, that
added
was
to Fortnite.
horrible. That was a
Now,
bust.
Chrome is spread to the
Absolute
reality tree
bust.
just in time for the Fracture Live event. The finale of Chapter 3 is on December 3rd, bringing a new map, features, and the next era of Fortnite Battle Royale.
All right, so I think that was like a nice little kind of recap of stuff. However, it's true. It did rise and it did fall. Like, hands down, Fortnite Mares was an absolute bloody bust. Like, it was horrible. I mean, I enjoyed it for sure, and I played a lot of it. But at the same time, it's just like they didn't include anything really new from last year, and I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, they really needed to. And if they're gonna do something like that, like maybe bring back other things as well. Like, why not, you know, have had it at the end? Maybe had it like Storm King mode or like something different, because having that giant horde, we had literally the same thing the previous year. So we needed something like a little bit different there, but I don't know. I mean, again, I still enjoyed Horde Rush. I mean, I do enjoy Horde Rush, but it's like, it's just, yeah, it's not great, because I get that everyone found it pretty boring, and you know, that obviously doesn't pan well. And then again, too, it's so repetitive, and I mean, if you can beat it on your own, which I did quite a few times, you kind of know that it's like, why make it a squad thing if you can beat it on your own? Like, I mean, I was really happy to do that, like, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, yeah. Oh, fit check. Yay. Thanks, Sunny. Mr. Beam. Yeah, water. I gotta get some of that. But yeah, it was a good video. But I'm looking forward to the next Top 5 Gaming one. Hopefully in the next day or two.